Namaste, divine beings. I am Nandhiji. I'd love to share my story of my art, Siddha Darshanam, with you. Each of the paintings were created from 40 to 90 minutes start to finish. They were created on a Thursday, a day of my silence and inner journey. And it is the translation of my innermost experience as the visuals. My story goes back to the time when I was 5 years old. I was sitting on my dad's shoulders as we were doing a pilgrimage to Savrimala through the forest. It was night time and we had lost our way. We left the trails and we went deeper into the forest, and just then a tiger roared. All the pilgrims could do was to chant, and in a distance I saw a radiant being walking towards us. I pointed out, and he, with a smile on his face, showed us the way back to the trail. And when we looked back, he simply was not there. Much later, through my childhood, anytime I held my breath, I would have this radiant being come to me, and it felt in me that he was my best friend. So years later, after the age of 27, I went through my death experience and then took off on my journey as a yogi. As I took off within myself to find my wholeness, I had a burning desire to see God with my two eyes. Guru Ayya, one of my 8 gurus, he was atop the mountain meditating. For 18 years, he drank just a cup of milk a day. He never moved. And when we see him, all we need to do is take his mantra and walk around and round him, and whatever is our thought and desire, it manifests. So my desire and my thought was, I want to see God as I walked round and round him. And that evening, when we came down the mountain, I was sitting on the terrace of a hotel overlooking Arunachala mountain, and that is when the whole mountain transformed itself to a golden hue. It was splendor of splendors. I simply dissolved in that light. It was just beyond vision to envision that which could have been described as beyond any words of magnificence. But what I felt within that experience was the permanency, the grace of receiving that energy, that knowing, that wisdom that connected me to God source at all times. So years later, as I came through my Thursdays, I started wanting to bring those energies as paintings, and my very first painting was, how would Prophet Moses have seen God as a burning bush? And then was the painting of the mountain itself, and then there were so many paintings that kept coming through to me. Now these paintings kept coming through to me, and each time there was a deeper meaning within each of these paintings. But ultimately, I began to question the happiness that I was feeling about the paintings, because it felt so selfish to do these paintings. And that's when I made a prayer to God, and the prayer was, let me paint a painting that is absolutely perfect. And when I feel it perfect in my heart, stop. Don't paint these paintings anymore. Instead, paint humanity for me. Paint what is my highest purpose for me. So, the last of the paintings came as the arrival, and that was my last painting. And now the painting that is of humanity being painted is consciousness itself. We are the idea in time, unstoppable, each the co-visionary of consciousness. So, divine beings, may all this art be the light within each, a light and inspired as we. Om Namah Shivaya, divine beings. Om.